Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and political analyst Ande Engleman.
A couple of weeks ago, we had the Supreme Court Chief Justice Bill Maupin on the program, and today we have his opponent, Don Chairez, former district court judge, and we'll join him and Ande over on the hot seat.
Judge, I want to ask you about the eminent domain case that you had down in Las Vegas. We're having some eminent domain problems up here in Reno. In that case, it was the city had taken someone's livelihood, their business that they'd owned for years, and really hadn't given what they thought was fair compensation. Is that right?
Well, it's a little bit more than that. Basically, Carol Pappas had owned this land for over 45 years. The city was in the process of trying to redevelop the downtown property, and essentially they came and offered Carol Pappas a small amount of money. She wasn't willing to take that small amount of money, and then essentially the city gave her a 10-day notice to take it or leave it. So they went into court. They got the order from another judge prior to me who was also an investor in the Fremont Street experience, and that judge signed the order saying it was okay to condemn the property. So ultimately it came to me and I said the city was abusing the power of eminent domain because they weren't necessarily using the property for a public use. They were taking the property from Mrs. Pappas and giving it to a consortium of downtown casinos, and that's what the legal issue was in the Pappas case.
All right, now, if the city had kept that as a public use, then the Pappases might have lost?
Well, I think in that particular case, if it had been like the city taking the land and the city building the parking lot and the parking lot belonging to the city, then it would have been a different issue. Oh. So that was the key issue there in that particular case.
Okay. There's a lot of undecided voters out there, and one of the things those undecided voters might be looking at is the fact that you've changed political parties several times. Why did you do that?
Well, I mean, I think essentially my values are conservative, a conservative Mexican American. And oftentimes when you look at the Democratic Party, you can say that they genuinely have an interest in helping working class people and those that are less fortunate. And so my father was a lifelong Democrat, started with the CCC, went to World War II, always voted for the Democrats, etc. Father was also Roman Catholic. My mother was a Protestant, came to this country when Dwight Eisenhower was president, so she kind of gave the Republicans credit for bringing her here, and so that was a different set of values. But, my basic sense is I think that 70% of the people in this country are in the middle, and that the extremists on either side, whether it's the liberals in the Democratic Party or the conservatives in the Republican Party, oftentimes they don't like the stretching that is going on, and that's what I've done in terms of who am I going to vote for one way or the other.
How difficult is it when you're running against the sitting Chief Justice of the Supreme Court to raise funds?
Well, I mean, I'll put it this way. I think he's raised at least $300,000 from the casinos. I've yet to receive my first nickel from any casino. He's raised, all of the big law firms have given money to him. I've gotten 2 attorneys to give me money. One has given me $500, one has given me $100. So essentially, I'm raising money for my clients that believe in me, saying, hey, it's nice to meet somebody who's honest. It's nice to meet somebody who's humble. It's nice to meet somebody who's not greedy, and they're willing to invest in me, and it's not going to benefit them at all.
Are you accusing your opponent of all those other things?
No, I'm not saying that he's not honest. I'm not saying he's not humble. I'm just
Actually,
saying
he was rated at 94% by the Bar Association this year for excellence on the bench, right?
Well, I think initially, I think that his ratings have gone down, but I don't think this is an issue of ratings. I really think this is an issue of, what are your values and what type of courage do you have in the difficult cases? I mean, as I mentioned to you earlier when we first spoke, Bill Maupin was a friend of mine when we were both district court judges. Mark Gibbons was a friend of mine when we were both district court judges, and I don't want to say anything negative about him. I'm offering myself as an alternative, if people are really disillusioned with the legal system and the political system in this country. So, I believe that he genuinely wants to do the right thing, and sometimes there are pressures that come upon you that may pull you one way or the other to keep you from doing the right thing. And I feel that in those close cases, I'm willing to stand up and do what is right. And I have done it, and I have paid for it politically.
And also financially. There was a case in Las Vegas, Jay Jawald, who you were serving as an immigration attorney for, where you actually paid to print up the briefs in his case and pay for your trip to San Francisco to appear before the Ninth Circuit on his behalf. Why'd you do that?
Well, I mean, basically, when I was younger, growing up, I wanted to be a doctor. My father ended up dying in 1973, and I've never liked going to hospitals ever since, but I always had a sense in me that I wanted to be a missionary and that it was important to help people. So when I see somebody in a difficult situation, I don't sit there and say, how much money do you have? I go, is there a solution that I can use, you know, to help them? And so I've gone to the Ninth Circuit 5 times in the last 3 years. I've won 4 out of 5 cases there at the Ninth Circuit, and it's a privilege to help people. And you know, to me, whether I'm a district court judge, whether I get lucky enough and become a Nevada Supreme Court judge, or whether I'm a lawyer or go on to become a school teacher, you know, I find more satisfaction in life by helping people than by making a lot of money.
Thank you so much for being here,
you.
Don Chairez.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll go into one of the hottest races in the Senate. This is one that could change the balance of power in the Silver State. Maurice Washington and Joe Carter, they'll be with us when we come back.
Gourmets, wine lovers, connoisseurs, don't miss Lake Tahoe's celebration of fine wines and inspired cuisine at the 17th Annual Autumn Food and Wine Festival, October 19th and 20th at the resort at Squaw Creek. 2 days of fine wines and lifestyle seminars will conclude with a grand tasting as over 30 of Tahoe's most prestigious chefs are paired with spectacular wines from all over the world. The Lake Tahoe Autumn Food and Wine Festival is brought to you by these fine sponsors. For tickets and lodging, contact Lake Tahoe Central Reservations at mytahoevacation.com. All you can eat, either way you want it. Shanghai Restaurant and Sushi Bar, where the cultures mingle and dining is luxurious.
Play it to the max.
Oh, yeah.
Come on and spin it. Take it to the top. Oh, yeah.
Play the Total Rewards Game of Life $1 Million Giveaway at Harris or Harvey's. Just use your Total Rewards card and you could be a millionaire. When you play at Harris or Harvey's, you have a chance to win even more. $15,000 in cash and prizes will be given away every month through September. And don't forget to play the Game of Life video slots, now at Harris and Harvey's.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Rick, manager at Cabinet Connection, your authorized kitchen craft dealer. Our message is a simple one. We want your business. New construction to home improvement. We have the products, pricing, and the professionalism to make your dreams come true. Choosing from our exciting styles and dramatic designs can really help enhance your flooring and countertop selections.
The honey hickory was a perfect choice. My clients loved it.
Kitchen Craft Cabinetry, your Cabinet Connection. Call us today.
There are 2 Senate races in play this year that could decide which way things go in the legislature. Very important decisions to be made. Let's go and join our 2 candidates in this particular Senate race, Joe Carter and Senator Maurice Washington, who is the incumbent, and we join them with Ande.
Let me start with Mr. Carter. If you're elected to office, who will you vote for Majority Leader?
Well, that choice hasn't been given to me. The rumor is that it'll be Dina Titus that will probably be the odds-on favorite.
Isn't that the same person who back in '91 led a fight against Washoe County in the fair share issue?
I understand that's true. I'll be given a choice of candidates to vote for, and once I see who the candidates are, that's when I'll make my decision.
So, okay.
I'm sorry, can I just dive in here?
Yeah.
Joe, do you feel there's an incredible amount of pressure not in so much in this race, but in what the ramifications of this race are, and how does that affect you? Does that concern you in any way?
Well, I didn't get into this race thinking about the ramifications. Does it concern me? Of course it's a consideration. Is it an overwhelming consideration? No.
One of the questions I have for you is that, you know, I went on a search on the website today to see if I could find out more information about you. I could find absolutely nothing. You seem to have been the hidden candidate. Would you spend 60 seconds and tell us who you are and what you stand for?
Well, my name is Joe Carter. I'm a locomotive engineer. I'm a lifelong resident of the Truckee Meadows. My family's been here since 1857. I spent 4 years in the Marine Corps, 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. I'm a graduate of Sparks High School, 1965. Graduate of Truckee Meadows Community College. I attended UNR. I'm a locomotive engineer. I've worked on the railroad for 30 years, 20 years as an engineer. A lot of times people will say, why are you running for office? Well, the easy answer to that is that I'm in a place in my life to where I can do this. I've served my country, now it's a chance for me to serve my state.
I wanted to, and we talked about this before, but for the benefit of the public, I want to ask you both about the trench. Although it may not come up at the legislature, still everyone's quite interested in the trench. Where do you stand on the trench issue?
Well, I'm for the trench issue for a different reason than most people. It's a safety issue with me, and it has to do with specifically railroad operations. It's far more safe to have a hazardous spill in a concrete trench than it is on soil. It's far easier to clean up, and if we have a heavier than air release of a hazardous material in that trench, it'll give us a little more time to evacuate, and it's just safer.
Senator?
Well, I think it's kind of an interesting question to ask. I think the local body itself, the council, city council, and the voters in that area are going to make the decisions for themselves concerning the trench. As a legislator, we of course made provisions for the local governments to do what is necessary, so we'll let the decision be in their hands.
I want to ask you both about taxes. It looks like there's going to be a tax hike. Where do you stand on that issue, Senator? Start with you.
Well, of course, I'm from the old school. Basically, you downsize as much as possible before you increase taxes. So any way we can cut back and
Senator, I got to jump in right there.
Okay.
How do you cut back when the state is looking at this huge deficit? The governor is already talking before the election, not that he's in any danger of losing, of having to raise taxes. There's a committee in place that is looking at all kinds of business taxes. Where is the fat to cut?
Well, that's a good question, Sam, and I think as a legislator we're going to have to take a look at everything that's on the table. We're going to have to make sure whatever we do is fair and equitable across the board.
What would you look at?
What tax would you support? If you have to support a tax, what tax would you support?
Well, Andy, that's a good question. I'm not very much in supporting any taxes, so I'm
But we
from
have
the
to
old
balance
school
the
tax
budget,
and
though.
spend.
Right, but we have to balance the budget.
That's a constitutional mandate. We have to balance the budget.
So one way or the other we do that. I mean, what do we
we've
throw
always
off?
balanced the budget too, and we'll continue to balance the budget because that's what the Constitution mandates. So
what do we throw off the ship if we're not going to raise taxes?
well, we'll have to take a look at what services we're providing. We'll have to prioritize those services. We'll see
What about cigarettes, beer, wine, liquor,
the old
taxes?
sin taxes, huh?
Uh-huh.
Well, I've heard from those that are adamant that they don't want those taxes to be raised, and if we do raise those taxes, of course, we have to take a look at our neighbors and other states and how regressive it's been on them.
Mr. Carter, quickly, where do you stand on taxes?
Well, as you both said, that the budget needs to be balanced. We're close to $300 million in the hole, so we're going to have to do something to bring that up. I'm concerned that we get a knee-jerk reaction and possibly raise taxes too much, but at the same time, my opponent has said that he's in favor of raising the funding for schools up to the national average. You simply cannot do this without raising taxes. I don't believe that the tax task force, boy, that's a tongue twister, has come up and released all of the possibilities. The sin taxes, I'm philosophically in favor of because it'll reduce teenage smoking, the smoking tax specifically. I'm not crazy about the gross receipts tax because it doesn't affect every business equally.
Andy, I might correct something from my opponent. I've never said I was in favor of raising the teacher's salary to the national average. I said what we have to do is take a look at it and see what options are available to us and then actually examine where we're at compared to other states and the union. So that question has been brought up to us, and if we decide to do that, then we're going to have to find funding for it. But I've never said that we're
Let me ask
supportive.
one brief question I have to raise. Senator Washington, you were endorsed by the Reno Gazette-Journal.
That's correct.
And but it was a less than stellar endorsement. And how did you feel about that? I mean, would you not have preferred that they went to other more positive aspects of your 2 terms rather than the negative press that you've received over the last couple of years?
Well, I will say this, Sam. I think my record speaks for itself. I think I've been a good legislator. I think I've served my constituents very well. I can speak to a number of issues that we've addressed, crime, dealing with bifurcation for foster parents and dealing with children, juvenile crime. The endorsement, I think, is important, and I'm grateful to the Reno Gazette-Journal. And unfortunately, I don't write the editorials. All I do is I do the best job that I can to serve my constituents. So,
Gentlemen, we're out of time. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Electronics is now part of virtually every industry, and with an education from CCNN, you could have a career in the electronics field.
My best friend Steve went to a 4-year school for his training. Now I'm working in the kind of job he always talks about, and he's still got 2 years of school left.
2 years? Heck, by that time, he'll probably be running the facility. And me, I'll still be toting books to and from class and borrowing money from Dave.
Career College of Northern Nevada can give you the hands-on training you'll need to launch an exciting, rewarding career in the computer and electronics industry.
Dave was always good at fixing things. Now he gets to work at a TV station. Once I even saw his name at the end of one of the shows. He's pretty cool.
I've always dreamed of working at a TV or radio station, right in the middle of all the action. And now, with the right training, I get to live it every day.
Hi, I'm Lori, and our admission staff is standing by ready to take your call and discuss your future. Financial aid is available for those who qualify, and we offer job placement assistance. So don't wait. Pick up your phone and call right now. Your future could be just a phone call away.
She's the most important person in your life. We can make her picture last for years to come. Fast Frame, expert picture framing. The masters painted enduring works of art. Trust us to keep their same standard of excellence. Fast Frame, expert picture framing.
You've always had a style. You never wanted ordinary. You'd go the extra mile just to have extraordinary. And you always knew what was right for you. Now you're ready to bring it home. And it's fine furniture.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers. We should be here during the breaks. They're just as interesting. We're here with our pundits, Jim Denton, Chris Wicker, and Greg Ferraro. And let's start out talking about this Washington Carter race. Jim, what's more important for the voter, to worry about what's going on in their district or to worry about what's going on in the state? How do you balance that?
Oh, I think it's a combination of two things. First of all, I think that race is going to be very important to the future makeup of the state Senate. There is a very good possibility that the leadership of the Senate would go down south if Senator Washington loses that race.
Okay, but now according to Greg yesterday, if it goes down south, the South still needs to worry about the North. So is that such a terrible thing?
Well, you know, I just have to go back in past history when you take a look at the fact of the fair share tax bill. The last time the Democrats were in control of the legislature, last time cost this county, I believe it was about $18 million.
Well, I think that's behind us, and I think rather than focusing on the north-south issue, which is, I think, getting behind us, I think we need to talk about the candidates a little bit. I think Maurice Washington told us that his record speaks for itself. Well, Maurice Washington's record is a veritable cornucopia of bad ethics, illegal activity, and bad behavior. I mean, if you look at, he's violated the law with having his employees not pay the workers' comp, so that he can commit mortgage fraud by
that hasn't been proven yet.
The Attorney General's office.
Those are allegations.
Right? The Attorney General's office alleges it, and the school district attorney alleges it.
The last time I checked, everyone...
Jump in there.
The last time I checked, Chris, everyone is presumed innocent in this country until they're proven guilty.
Well,
the last time I checked, and you're an attorney, the last time I checked, is that true or not?
Maurice
you guys
Washington
get after it, but the cold political reality in this race, is that this is more about Washoe than it is about Maurice Washington or Joe Carter. So Washoe County voters in that Senate district are going to be given the choice that they want to continue to have a majority leader who lives in Reno or one who lives in Las Vegas. That's the case. And that's the answer.
I agree. I agree. That is the overriding issue in this race. Yes.
If you don't want to talk about Maurice Washington, that is the issue. But you do have to focus on the candidates.
My guess is in the next 2 weeks.
They had to hold their nose to endorse Maurice Washington. Do the voters want to do that?
I think that's what they call a senator, is the guy who wins by one vote. Washington leads in the race today. Washington leads in the race today, and you know, over the next 2 weeks. weeks, it's whichever campaign is going to appeal to the voter. I think the Washington campaign is clearly going to put Washoe out front.
Okay, let's move on to the council races. Is the Cashel Robinson race gone completely from the radar? I mean, it's not even in the paper, it's not on the news. I mean...
The sad thing is, it seems to be, you know, if you look at the polling, it seems to be a gone race. I mean, Mike Robinson put in a valiant effort at providing the voters a choice, but you know, it's just tough to hold out much hope that Mike Robinson is going to present any kind of a challenge to Bob
yeah,
Cashel.
because Cashel has offers a lot more promise, vision, optimism for the future. I think that race is pretty much in the books. I don't want to. I'm involved in the campaign, of course, and I don't want to call it, but I think that Cashel has a comfortable lead.
Well, I'll call it because I'm not involved in the campaign. Cashel will win that race easily.
Well, these bold predictions Denton makes all the time.
Now we shoot your polls. Cashel leads that race easily. Cashel wins that race easily. The people of this community are looking for a consensus builder, and that's what Bob
All right,
Cashel
but is he going to have a divided council?
Good question.
I think so. I think
going
he
to
is
be
going to
very
have a divided
close.
council.
Well, let's hope that there's 7 individuals who make up their own minds individually, but nevertheless, there's got to be somebody who provides a vision to that council, and I think Cashel's vision will be, let's move this community forward, let's stop the bickering, let's allow the opportunity to disagree,
okay, but before we
and
run
go
out of
forward.
time, though, okay,
Yeah,
okay, we got that. Let's move on to talking about the races where it could turn the tables around, because historically there have been voting blocks. In the Sferrazza-Deutsch race, are the numbers moving in any particular direction at this point?
I think Julie Sferrazza is going to win it, and hopefully the council will work together. I agree with Greg. That's what this community needs. But I think that Julie Sferrazza is not going to be lockstep with Bob Cashel.
Well, let's hope that, again, they make up their own minds individually and they make educated decisions.
Yeah, will she be in lockstep with her stepdaughter, Jessica?
I think that's a bigger question. How do city council issues become resolved if we've got these husband-wife teams?
I'll just say the same thing I said the last time I was on the show, which is I would like to see a city council that works together to solve the problems of this community, which has not been done for the last 20 years. It would be a unique opportunity. It's a unique opportunity.
Sam, let me answer your question. Let me answer your question. I think polling indicates today that there's still a wide, undecided margin in that race, and so. Again, voters haven't come to the conclusion which one's better for their interests.
Okay,
I think,
a quick go around here
we've
on
got
the
2 weeks to go.
Zadra-Rigdon race.
I think the same is true there. I think Rigdon probably is up a few points due to the fact that he's the incumbent. But again, I think there are large undecided populations of voters there.
I think particularly in that race, the voters are not really focused on the issues of the personalities in that race. That race, I think, from the polling that I've seen, has got a larger undecided. And I think their name recognition is low. I think you could see a surprise in that race, though, however.
Question is, does Cashel have coattails?
We're out of time.
We're out of time, so we can't do predictions today. I'm sorry about that. We'll do them tomorrow. We're going to take a break. We'll come back, and Andy's got some important information for you. We'll be right back.
For the past 20 years, I've seen a lot of changes in education.
I hope that I've had a positive effect on the students who have sat in my classroom.
I've taught them English and math. I've taught them science. But if there's one legacy I hope I've left with them,
It's the value of a quality education.
In my experience, the Nevada State Education Association
has consistently stood up for quality education.
For our kids and their future.
Any questions?
Corporate wrongdoing has jeopardized the health of the financial markets, which is why Congressman Jim Gibbons supported stronger enforcement measures and corporate reform. Jim Gibbons understands that most of the over 10,000 publicly traded companies play by the rules and believes that those who don't should get hard jail time and forfeit their ill-gotten gains. Hardworking Nevadans should have the assurance of knowing that corporate America will be held to a higher ethical standard. Congressman Jim Gibbons will work hard to reform corporate America and punish those who jeopardize your retirement and your financial security. Re-elect Jim Gibbons to Congress.
If you've lived in Reno for a while, then you know the best values in furniture for your home are found at Rick's Furniture Warehouse, where you always find everyday low prices. If you're new to Reno, then you owe it to yourself to come by Rick's to find the best furniture values. Rick's giant warehouse is stocked with a huge selection of living room, dining room, and bedroom furniture and accessories. If you haven't been to Rick's lately, stop by. There's new furniture arriving every week. In Reno, there's only one place with everyday low prices. That's Rick's Furniture Warehouse at the corner of Moana and Kitsky Lane.
You're in for a good time. You're in for a lot of fun. Come join the party at the Carson Valley Inn. The people are friendly. The food is the best around. The music is jumping at the Carson Valley Inn. Come on, let's go. You're in for even more at the Carson Valley Inn. You're in!
Back on Nevada Newsmakers, an important event coming up.
Yes, Saturday early voting starts. We want to remind you about that, and to take your sample ballot with you, we'll have those 20 ballot questions. You may want to mark them before you go. Which brings us to next Monday, when we debate ballot question 9, the marijuana question here. Plus, we have our pundit panel do an ad watch.
Okay, but now what about this early voting? I mean, if people don't wait until Election Day, don't they miss out on some information that can break in the last couple of weeks of the election?
Not anymore. Political consultants are smarter than that now, and these people that vote early, they know what they're doing.
Okay, I'll trust you on that. We'll see you on Monday.
Washoe County students are juggling a lot these days. Classroom overcrowding, deteriorating facilities, and of course, outdated technology. Ballot question WCSD1 will build 6 new schools, upgrade existing schools, and provide the technology today's world demands, all with no new taxes, which will leave students with a lot more time to learn. Support our schools. Vote yes on WCSD1.
You've always had style, never wanted ordinary. You'd go the extra mile just to have extraordinary. And you always knew what was right for you. Now you're ready to bring it home in its fine furniture.
This is News Channel 8.